Hello angels, it is MommaSavvy here, back with another video to help you live your blessed life. If this is your first time here, thanks for joining me. If this is not your first time here, welcome back. To all of you who have not, please go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get more updates. I have so much in store for you all. Today's video is especially crafted for the breastfeeding exclusive mom. This is for the mom, and you're not alone in this, who has not taken the time to build a freezer stash, to get away time from your little one, to go back to work, any of that. I am here for you. We are going to do this together. I will be showing you all my approach and how I am attempting to build my freezer stash. So if you have not learned from my other videos, me and BabySavvy are always together. She's always by my side, so what is pumping anyway, right? Who drinks bottles? Because of this blessing, I have never dedicated enough time to build a full freezer stash. Yes, in the past I have pumped and put away milk for her, but nothing sufficient enough. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through a full day in the life of me pumping to start a freezer stash. I'll be showing you how many times a day I pump, how I gradually started to pump, and at the end I'll give you all a full account of my production for the day. So without further ado, let's get into it. So before I even start pumping, I'm going through what I'm going to refer to as like a pre-game phase of pumping. This is where I make sure all my attachments are working, which some of them wasn't. So I'm unpacking some tubing I had to order here for you all. But I just prep pretty much for the big pump, which will follow the next day. Sterilizing all my parts. Since they were sitting for a while, I want to make sure everything is clean and ready to go. This just cuts down on some of the labor of pumping in general, because I don't have to worry about getting those things ready and then jumping right into pumping at the same time. Good morning, angels. I am up early with BabySavvy this Saturday morning. So another rule of thumb is to set everything up the night before. I am using the Lancino Smart Pump, the original one to pump. And I did very good for my first pump session, since I don't know how long. I was able to get out 5 ounces, which I thought was pretty good. You see I have a slacker boob. My right boob is my slacker boob. But I was still impressed, since this was the first session I've done in I don't know how long. And BabySavvy is a good dream feeder. So she was just on me that whole morning. But I was able to get away from her and start pumping. And this is what I got. So I always have my water close by. That's what you see in that cup there. And I'm just gradually getting into things for you all. So I'm taking it slow with only 2 sessions today. But in between my sessions, I want to show you all how I do clean my bottles. But I thought I should include it because I don't like to clean my bottles with all the other dishes in the kitchen, because I don't want any cross-contamination. And then I go ahead and put some all-natural cleaner into a cup. And then I add water. And I basically just scrub the pieces down outside of a tub. I do have a separate dishwashing tub for my pieces. But because I was only doing 2 attachments, I really didn't need to pull that out. So for a quick scrub to cut down on time, because these little pieces Tetris is so very time consuming. I just do it separately and rinse everything. It is a late afternoon pump of 2.5 ounces. So whew, I think I need to drink more water, eat a little bit more. But this is my Saturday, so that pretty much concludes the pregame for you all. And some people might call me crazy, but I decided to jump into my 4 sessions of pumping at 1:30 in the morning. I was up and BabySavvy was asleep, and I got a couple hours away from her before I decided to do this. So I figured, why not pump and get my day started? So Here I am on my little pallet that I set up on the floor because I don't really have a separate area in my room for pumping yet. But I set up a pallet on the floor, usually away from her bed, to begin pumping. And that way the noise of the pump won't disturb her. And I also can sit like right next to the pump, because right now I'm not using any like hands-free bra. I don't own one right now. I honestly might end up making one at some point, but I'm just like holding it and just listening to my phone play. So here I am showing you all that. And we are getting into day 2 of straight pumping. So I usually do that gradual, like, okay, I'm gonna pump a little, then pump more the next day, just so my body is like getting reintroduced to this pattern of we need more milk now. So that way I'm just not totally drained. BabySavvy over there. Okay, so earlier this morning, I went in for my session. It went pretty good, and I was surprised given the fact that BabySavvy had just got off me to fall asleep. She was doing dream feeding all through the night, so I took advantage of my ability to sleep in today, and I went ahead and slept in. I gave us both some breakfast, and it is now about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Yikes, and I'm going in for my second session of the day. So here we go. Yes, here we go again, back with the parts once again. This is really, I think, what is making me not like pumping at all. It's just like playing Tetris before I have to give these secretions to this machine. It's just too much. Like, I'm going to explore more options and more videos to come. That's really why I added this piece here, just to show you all that I just really don't enjoy this at all. Okay, so the second session went pretty good. I got like 2 and let me see, like 3/4 ounce from my left boob, and then my slacker here gave me about 2, so almost 5 ounces is pretty good for afternoon session since I missed my morning session this morning, so I ain't mad about that. All right, so it is now like 7 o'clock at night, and I've been running around like all day. And I'm trying to get at least like 2 more pumps in before I finish up for the day. And she wants to eat too, probably, because I'm going to go work out. So I'm going to feed her before I go. So I'm going to switch this over to like one side so I can, let me try to show y'all. So I can pump on one side and then feed her on the other. Yeah, so it cut off flow to one of the pumps, and then thank you. It's just a one pumper. So I'm going to feed her on one side and then pump on the other side. So okay, so after wrestling with BabySavvy, I was alternating sides from left to right, and I got about, sorry, she's shaking my arm right now. I got about 2.5 ounces, so that is not bad at all. Okay, so I am back for the 4th pump session. Unfortunately, this does not fall within the 24 hours that I was using to count my milk production for you all. And please excuse the pump going now. I'm still going to pump now because I still want to get this freezer stash up. And I'm currently breastfeeding as well and editing this video for you all. So, excuse me, due to unforeseen circumstances, I ended up taking a nap with BabySavvy and threw off my whole last session. So I'm not going to cheat and include that in the totals. It happens. I want to give you all a realistic estimate of what you may produce when you start your freezer stash. So the totals for the 24 hours, I am very proud to say that I was able to produce 350 milliliters of breast milk. That sounds very impressive in milliliters, and it is still very impressive because that's 11 ounces of breast milk, okay? In addition to whatever BabySavvy isn't taking on her own. So I know there's a learning curve that I am getting over at this point, and I also know that my body is still adjusting to the pump at this point. So I did want to give you all
those numbers. And hopefully this is encouraging a mommy out there to not feel inadequate, to not feel like you're not producing enough, to not feel like there is something wrong with you just because you are not producing thousands of milliliters of breast milk at this point. Breastfeeding on its own is very draining, so having to pump, in my opinion, is almost like feeding a second child. So stay encouraged. I hope this video encouraged you all, and I will be checking out at this point. Happy pumping.
So angels, that is a wrap. I am well on my way to having a freezer stash that is just phenomenal. Thank you all for watching this video and watching to the very end. I cannot stress how thankful I am for you all to be watching this content. I really hope it's motivational for somebody out there. I will give you all an update once I have something that I'm proud enough to share along the way. I can share tips and tricks, anything that you think of, put it in the comments and I can do that as well. I'm thinking of a dietary video. I have so many ideas. Please go ahead and click on that notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. If you're watching and you still haven't subscribed, what are you doing? But as always, I want to thank you all for watching, and I pray you continue to live your blessed life.